Hi, my name is Roland and welcome to my VectrexRoli show. Thanks for joining me again, and in this video I would like to show you a new flash card for the Vectrex video game system. I did a Vectrex video not too long ago and normally try to mix the content here on my channel because I don't show only Vectrex stuff here on my show, but also a lot of other retro gaming related items and old home computers. But I got now this amazing piece of new hardware in my hands, which also includes some amazing software, as you will see later, so I didn't want to wait to show that to you. If you are already a subscriber, you will know that the Vectrex is my favorite gaming system. I have different playlists for different systems, so there is also one with all my Vectrex videos I made so far, including a beginner's guide video, homebrew games, hardware and lots of other interesting things, so go and check that out and I will link to that. I am pretty sure you will not find so much detailed information about the Vectrex or many other channels out there. What we are looking at is a new flash card for the Vectrex called VecFever. This device is made in Germany by a gentleman by the name of Thomas Sondowski. So with this card you can play ROM files on real Vectrex hardware, and you can download games from the web and install it on the card, and many Vectrex homebrew titles and programs are available as free downloads. So on this card you can install and change the content yourself. I usually call those types of cards flash cards, but there are also other types available on which you cannot change the content yourself, and usually I call those types of cards multi-cards. There are already many of such solutions available for the Vectrex, and I made a video called Best Vectrex Multi and Flash Cards 2016 and 17. Go and check that out if you want to see all the other different solutions available, so you can compare those with the new card here if you want. When I made that older video I didn't even know that the new VecFever card was in development, so it was not even on my radar back then, but I can tell you already now that you will find some unique and mind-blowing features on the new VecFever. First, let's have a look how you get all your ROM files over to the new flash card. The VecFever is not a SD card based solution like the VecMulti. You connect the card to your PC using an USB cable, a bit similar to the Mateo solution for the Vectrex. If I refer now to other Vectrex flash cards like VecMulti and Mateos and you want to know more about those, just check out my older flash and multicard video. There is no time now to show them here again. When you connect the VecFever to your PC, the card will be powered via the USB cable and it will show up as a 16 MB USB flash drive, which is plenty of space for Vectrex programs, and you can even create subfolders on your VecFever. You simply copy over your ROMs by using drag and drop, so you don't need any special software on your PC. One thing I would like to mention is that I call the VecFever a flash card now, because I think most Vectrex users will perceive it as that, but if you look more closely and you know more about the development features, you can also see this more as a development environment for Vectrex software. If you are just a gamer and you want to play games, that's also fine. You don't need to understand anything about software development to use the VecFever. It is very convenient to use also for gamers. Please keep in mind that I cannot show you all the features of the VecFever here, especially I will not show you all the bells and whistles of the development mode, as I am not a software developer myself, and this video here is neither an installation guide nor a tutorial. I only want to give you an overview here. Before we go into all the details, I would like to give you some information about the version of the VecFever you see here. My version here is an early developer version with a multicolor LED. Thomas wanted that LED for test purposes, and the LED was thought for tinkering with other hardware. The final product will not come with that LED, but as it looks nice if you put that card in a translucent shell, Thomas will keep the support for the LED in the firmware. But as you will see later, the features of the VecFever are just amazing even without that LED, so even I do like it, it is not really the most important thing here. I copied over the whole content of my VecMulti SD card, and all programs I tested so far did work fine also on the new VecFever. Please don't ask me for any ROM files, I got many test and review ROMs I will not share of course, but as you can see in my videos, a lot of homebrew developers offer some of their games even as free downloads, and with the help of Google you should be able to find also most of the old classic original Vectrex games, together with some classic homebrew titles. I also tested the classic light pen program Animaction that has additional RAM on board and therefore does not work on some of the flashy multicuts out there, and also that works fine on the VecFever. Also bigger 64K homebrew games work as expected, and also the Vectrex cards I copied over to my computer using the Matthäus burner dumper device work also fine, so if you already own a collection of ROMs there should be no issue to use that now also on your new VecFever. I'd like to mention that there is a file called menu.dat on the VecFever, and I renamed that file to get the expert menu with more additional features, otherwise you get a simplified menu with less options. So next let's put the VecFever into the Vectrex. When we boot up the Vectrex with the VecFever plugged in, we can immediately see that this is a modern menu-driven solution with all advantages and disadvantages. A menu is of course the most convenient way to select the ROM files, only in certain rare cases when you want to use a custom-made special controller for a certain game, you might not have all buttons available on such a controller to go through the menus, and you either have to use the original game card or a solution without any menu like the Matthäus card, which has a rotary selection switch to select your programs. The VecFever uses nice looking text fonts and bitmap graphics in the menus, and one thing I can recommend you should do at the beginning is that you go to the font menu and adapt the timings there so that you always get sharp, nice looking fonts. Such a timing setup you also can find in some of the newer homebrew games. It is quite normal that you need different timing settings on different Vectrex consoles, so you might want to change that also when plugging in your VecFever into another Vectrex. In that font menu you can even change the fonts used in the menus if you want to, so also that is really a nice feature. I would like to start with the most basic use cases first, so as we can see on the main menu it says Drive. This is the storage area where I put all my ROMs now. Below that we see 4 games including Mindstorm, which is the game built in your Vectrex console, so you can launch Mindstorm even without removing your VecFever card, and you also get 3 more excellent games included with your VecFever, but we'll come to that later. First let's open up the Drive section and go to my collection subfolder I created, and there is my ROM collection. I can go up and down in the menu and select the program similar to the VecMulti or other multicuts for the Vectrex, and when we press reset on the Vectrex we come back to the selection list, which is also similar to the VecMulti. The only thing the VecFever does better now than the VecMulti is that it also will come back to the selection screen when using 64K ROMs. On the VecMulti it would only come back when using ROMs up to 32K if I remember correctly now. By the way, you don't need to start any special program on your PC to create the menu list first, you just copy over the ROMs to the VecFever and the game list is created on the fly directly on the card. So as I said, all ROMs I tested so far did work, and also all the add-ons worked. Here we see for example a test version of the great new upcoming light gun game Duck Hunt from my friend Chris from BinaryStarSoftware.com, and as expected the game and also the light gun work fine with the VecFever. If you want to know more about some of the Vectrex light gun games from Binary Star Software, just check out my older video about that, find the link below. This here is one of those hidden Vectrex homebrew gems that you can find on the web if you look long enough. This is a Juno first clone called Hera Primera, and I found this on the German Commodore C64 forum, forum64.de. I will leave a link below. I really hope the author of that game will continue development. You know I am also into Commodore 8-bit home computers. I own even a Commodore SX64 and I'm just renovating a C128 in case you know what all of that is. So I knew that Forum 64 already, but as I cannot be on all forums on this planet as there is not enough time for that, I signed up there just to be able to download this great Vectrex title. Here another example you can download for the VecFever and other flashcards. This is a game called Release made by Malban from Germany. This is currently one of the hottest new Vectrex homebrew titles for today 2017, and Malban even made a special version that uses some of the VecFever specific features. I did show this recently on my Vectrex Homebrew Extravaganza video, so go and check that out if you want to know more, but there I did not turn the screen bright enough. As I found out later, the game looks even better when you see the stars in the background flying around. Anyway, definitely go and get that game. So everything we saw now so far was just the basic functionality we could expect from a modern menu-based Vectrex flashcard, but wait, this is the new VecFever designed by Thomas, and believe me, there is much more. One incredible new feature I've not seen on any other flashcard so far is that the VecFever can create and maintain high-score tables for certain classic Vectrex games, but also some homebrew titles. When a game is supported, you can press button 3 in the game list and you see the high score table together with a nice looking logo on top. The high score table is stored on the card and you can reset that if you want. You also get high score tables for each game mode of certain games like normal and hard mode. How that all works is that the game is patched on the fly on the card, so you don't need to do anything on your PC first. So when you reach a new high score, you can enter your initials in the list as it would be part of the game program. I mean, that's just mind-blowing. You think that's all? You even can choose how the high score screen where you can enter your initials should look like. There are several designs you can choose from. As I said, it does not work with all games, but a great selection of games like Armor Attack, Moonlander, Hyperchase and Wormhole for example, and many more. You even can have a tournament mode, which is a temporary table which will not be stored on the card. You might think now, wow, that's great, but wait, there is more. So far we were only talking about classic game ROMs you might already have or you can download from the web, but the VecFever supports a special new ROM format called V4E, which is a container format for certain games or programs that support some of the special features of the VecFever. To bring you one example, you can use a converter tool to pack together programs or data much longer than 64K, and the banks in the V4E format are stored compressed using also a checksum. There was a folder on my VecFever with a few examples what you can do with it. So there is a jukebox music player with many songs consisting of many 32K banks. There is even one of my favorite Amiga songs included, a tune composed by Karsten Obarski for the Amiga game Crystal Hammer. You know I'm a huge Amiga fan and I own several classic Amiga computers. If I would not own also Vectrex, maybe my channel would be called VectrexRoli then. If you have a LED soldered on your VecFever card, that one even blinks when playing music. A music player with so many tunes for your Vectrex is quite impressive, but wait until you see this. This is the Bad Apple music video demo, a vectorized version of the famous Japanese pop song. In case you are using a later so-called no-bus Vectrex console, volume will be quite low on those machines. This is a known issue, but this has nothing to do with the VecFever as such. The graphics look slightly different on my different Vectrex systems, and I know there are slight timing differences, but I guess in this case it is just because I need to recap all of my Vectrex consoles at some point. I mean, look at that, that's just jaw-dropping. There you see what capable developers can do with the VecFever. So you think that's all now? No, there is more. Now let's come to the games that come with the VecFever. In the VecFever main menu you will find 3 exclusive games. There is Robot Arena, Head-On and Decor. I cannot show you detailed game reviews here now, as they would be worth a whole separate video. I only will show you some quick game impressions, and Thomas, who knows a lot about hardware development and firmware stuff, he is also capable of writing such excellent games for the Vectrex. Robot Arena is a super fast and fun action shooter game. I like such types of games. I did not have enough time to try it out yet, but you even get several controller options and you can play this using 2 controllers. Head-On is a great Vectrex version of a 1979 arcade game. The game looks polished, sound effects are great. If you put the LED on your VecFever, it is flashing according to what happens on the screen. The first time I saw something like that was on the limited Vectrex Xmas 2015 card from Binary Star Software. There was an interactive Christmas tree LED on the card. Check out my video if you want to see that. But here on my VecFever is a multicolor LED now for nice light show effects. The last exclusive game you get is called Decor. The title screen alone looks impressive and also the title music is great. Again, the multicolor LED is supported. The game is very unique as it uses a lot of rounded elements on the vector screen, something you don't see that often on the Vectrex. All of those 3 games look great. I would even think about getting a VecFever only because of that, to be honest, even I would not want or need the flashcard part. Originally Thomas thought about releasing his first Vectrex game Robot Arena also on a separate game card, and he was so kind to send me even one of the few cards he made. I guess he knew that I'm a crazy Vectrex collector, so thank you very much Thomas, really appreciate that. If you want to get Robot Arena, go and get the VecFever. I don't know for sure, but I'm just guessing that Thomas does not have any plans currently to release separate game cards for his games. There are many more menu options and interesting features that would be worth showing if this would be a VecFever tutorial video, like screensaver, password options, and I did not even touch the development mode features, but as I said, I only wanted to give you an overview here. I quickly tested the VecFever on all 3 types of European Vectrex systems I own, which all have different ROM BIOS versions, and from what I can tell it works fine on all of them, including the later so-called no-bus Vectrex version. So what do I think about the VecFever and who would like to buy one? Well, there are always those people that don't really care for newer homebrew games. Maybe the Vectrex is only one of many systems in their video game collection, so they just want to play the few classic original titles and maybe a few older homebrew games, and usually that target group just goes for a multi-card with several pre-installed games. I also use all kinds of different multi-cards and flashcards for the Vectrex, and if you are more into the Vectrex like me and you are looking for a new modern flashcard, I can definitely recommend getting the new VecFever. All those features like high scores for certain games, 3 great exclusive arcade titles, and a new container format for developers that want to support the VecFever are definitely unique selling points in my opinion. Also, if you are a developer for the Vectrex, the VecFever might be also your weapon of choice then. This is definitely one of the coolest items I've seen for the Vectrex for a long time. The multicolor LED on my VecFever is a very nice gimmick, I really like that, and it also shows the state of the card when using it as an USB flash drive, but I can understand why it is too much effort now to include it also in the final product, and it also makes only sense if you can get your hands on clear translucent card shells. At the time I made this video, all VecFever cards so far were built with the SMD resistors for the LED already in place, and there is also still support for that in the firmware, so if you think you urgently need that LED, it looks like you can add it yourself at your own risk. Normally I put a link to the place where you can get the items I show you on video, but at the time I made this video the web page was not existing yet, so I will add that later when Thomas will let me know the URL. You can also check for that on the usual places like the Vector Gaming forums, on the Vectrex forum on Atari Age, or on the Vectrex Fans Unite Facebook group. So I hope this was interesting, entertaining and helpful for you. Now at the end of this video I want to show you something crazy I also got from Thomas, something that is so cool that I want to show you that. This is the Vectrex Thermometer card. I did not put it in a cartridge shell yet, but I will do that later with a proper card sticker. So you plug it into your Vectrex and you see the current temperature on screen. You can switch even between Celsius and Fahrenheit, and when I put my finger on the sensor the temperature goes up of course, and I can measure now my VecFever by doing that. I don't think that Thomas will sell those cards, but you can build that yourself. Just check out the information on the webpage of my friend Ian, also known as VectrexMed. There on vectrex.co.uk you can read all the details about it. You know, making videos is a lot of work and very time consuming, and as this is a non-commercial hobby activity, this is a free service for you, so please consider subscribing to my channel to show your support. You will find a lot of interesting stuff here you have not seen on a million other YouTube channels out there. Please like, share and feel free to leave a comment, and as always, thanks for watching.